Hello, welcome to our channel. Here you will find the most useful and interesting audiobooks for free. Subscribe, press like, and the bell, so you don't miss new videos. Happy listening.
Super personality. How to discover your strengths and how to become successful. Audiobook. Introduction. Answer honestly. Do you feel like a free person? Be born, go to kindergarten, go to school, go to university, get a job, get paid. Go on vacation sometimes, retire, and now repeat after me, I'm free. This is a standard life pattern according to which millions of people live. But some find the strength to move away from standards and live differently. Only these people can truly consider themselves happy and free. What about you? Do you feel free? Can you confidently say that you feel full of life? No. Each birthday brings more and more sadness, dejection, and the realization that, in general, nothing has happened over the years, nothing important, interesting, or memorable. Your friends and family congratulate you on being 1 year closer to a visit from the lady with the braid. You smile and thank. But in your soul you feel sadness and are looking for an answer to the question, what is the meaning of my life? Life is a priceless gift that gives you thousands of opportunities to enjoy it. She is the only one. Understandably, you want to live it as richly and fully as possible. You are well aware of this, but it is so difficult to change the usual flow that steadily carries you nowhere. Do you firmly believe that stability is good? Perhaps, but what does it give? Confidence in the future. No one can ever be 100% sure of the future. You should not indulge yourself with illusions and convince yourself that, having a stable job and standing firmly on your feet, you can call yourself a free and self-sufficient person. You simply won't have anything to remember in retirement. What will you tell your grandchildren? How did you go to work every day, take your family to the seaside for a week in the summer, build a summer house, and grow tomatoes there? Yes, this is exactly what awaits you if you continue to pray for stability. It's time to just live because the meaning of life lies in life itself. This is a given, which in itself is perfect, and all you need to do is enjoy it and love every day you live. Surely you think that it is not so easy to change your attitude towards life. Indeed, habit is a terrible force that is not easy to give up. You are tormented by fears, because you will have to change the direction of the river of life, and there are no guarantees that it will be better there. The unknown is always scary and repulsive. This is a natural reflex, the function of which is to protect us. There is no need for drastic changes in your normal lifestyle. It is enough to change your attitude towards the world, people, and most importantly, towards yourself. Using a few simple but important rules, you can taste life, get to know it better, and enjoy it as much as possible. The most important rule is just don't be afraid of anything and worry less. Only in this way will you understand what it means to be truly free and happy. Decide what you want. Be yourself and don't be afraid to dream. A person can be called happy if he does not lose interest in his life. You can only avoid losing it if you know what you want, if you love yourself and life. But for this very interest to appear, you need to try to know life, what it tastes like, to feel all its various facets and delights. Appetite comes with eating, doesn't it? How do you feel about yourself? The modern world is filled with all kinds of influence methods. Television, the internet, beautiful advertising in magazines, all this becomes the reason that many people simply lose themselves in it all. Opinions are imposed on us, living standards are determined for us, and we are unwittingly forced to do and love things that are alien to us. If you want to live a full life, you first need to free yourself from these shackles, get to know yourself, separate your individuality from society, and most importantly, love yourself and learn to appreciate. Answer yourself honestly, do you love yourself? Just be honest, don't deceive yourself. If not, then congratulations, you have admitted your main mistake. Now it's time to fix it. Let's start with 5 simple rules that will help you understand and begin to respect yourself. Rule 1. Try to understand yourself and your desires. Unfortunately, most modern people go with the flow, which takes them into a sea of stability, standards, and boredom. If you want to swim in a spacious ocean, and not in a cramped sea where everyone swims, you need to do a little digging and understand yourself. Once you realize that what you really want is something more interesting and exciting, and life is full of that, you can turn away from its general flow and go where the road is closed to others. Have you ever thought that all the misfortunes and failures happen to you only because you do not treat yourself the way you deserve? Not everyone can boast that they know and respect themselves. Many people look for the cause of all failures in themselves and feel guilty. Sometimes these feelings lead to self-hatred. We have no right to pass such a verdict on ourselves if we don't even really know ourselves. Rule 2. Stop demanding unrealistic things from yourself, and stop making claims about yourself for mistakes and mistakes. Don't demand that you be perfect, that's not given to anyone. Every person is unique, but no one can be able to do everything, know everything, and never make mistakes. Our life is an interesting adventure, full of surprises. Every mistake you make is another lesson for you, another stage has passed. Every mistake should teach you something, and give you invaluable experience that you would never have gained without making it. Be grateful for this experience and don't waste time beating yourself up. Rule 3. Having accepted your mistakes, become kinder to yourself and the world. Once you come to terms with your past and your shortcomings, be kind to yourself. Try to thank yourself and be proud of yourself for every small and big success. Don't forget to be kind to others. Your kindness will be returned to you 100-fold. Rule 4. Be honest with yourself. Deception causes the emergence of negative emotions. You begin to doubt yourself and your abilities. This prevents you from taking a deep breath and accepting everything that life gives you. Be honest and your life will be much easier. Rule 5. Respect yourself. Now that you know all your strengths and weaknesses, when you have accepted yourself as nature created you, and when you are honest with yourself, you can begin to respect yourself and your new actions and actions. We remind you. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and like this video. Thank you. Chapter 1. What does money mean to you? Let's think about it. What is the meaning of life for an ordinary modern person? As a rule, everything is standard. You study, get a job, earn money, get married, and buy an apartment or a car. That is, from the very beginning of our lives we program ourselves that the main thing in life is to earn money. This is what our parents did, this is what everyone does. If you don't have your own home, you can consider yourself a failed person. We earn money, try to save something for a rainy day, and rarely allow ourselves little joys, because we need to buy an apartment. Most often, this takes years, and all this time a person drags out his existence in this unjust and cruel world. As soon as an opportunity arises to earn extra money somewhere, we grab this opportunity to have more, even more. A neighbor bought a new car, and you are still driving an old Ford, no good. You need to push yourself and buy something for yourself, otherwise it's not reputable. A new iPhone has come out, it's time to tighten your belt and buy it, otherwise, what are you, a loser or what? But yesterday, in the bathhouse, a friend accidentally let slip what his bank account was. Your jaw almost dropped. Well, you pretended that you didn't care, but you think that I need to push myself too. On order. A friend sent her child to an elite school but forgot to ask the child himself if he just wanted to go fishing with his dad, play board games, or ride a bike, but the school is elite and expensive. Now try to say that you are a free person. Just don't fool yourself. Millions of people have turned their lives into a pursuit of money and have imprisoned themselves in a small, cramped cell where there is no bright sun, green grass, and fresh air. Yes, you can create a profitable business, and afford expensive restaurants, cars, and houses, but the most important thing will pass you by. Before you know it, your children are growing. What new hairstyle did your wife do? What new thing did she cook for dinner? Before you know it, your parents have aged. When was the last time you called them? But they are not eternal. While you are chasing money, your daughter will be performing at a school concert, and you will not see it. Years will pass, and you will have everything you want, but at family dinner, you will have nothing to remember. You will have nothing in common, nothing memorable. But perhaps you will eat red caviar from expensive plates with spoons. Of course, it is impossible to imagine life without money. We need them to satisfy basic needs. Money is a means by which we can realize our desires. But don't make money the goal of your life. This is just a means by which you can take your child to the zoo, buy a fishing rod, give your favorite bouquet, or buy your parents something tasty for tea. Sit and chat with them on a quiet evening. In return, you will get much more than money can give. You will receive satisfaction, joy, smiles, and emotions. All this is not sold in stores. It is priceless, which means it is much more important than money. Free yourself from endlessly filling your wallet. Be above this, value not money, but life itself. All the delights that she is ready to give you are completely free. Do you have dreams? Let's figure out what it is first. A dream is that cherished, innermost desire that sits deep in your soul, hoping that someday it will come true. Very often, realizing a dream leads to achieving happiness. We all dreamed as children, but with age, this ability disappears. The older a person gets, the more wary he is about dreams. He simply cannot afford to waste time daydreaming. First of all, this happens because people simply do not believe in themselves and their desires. We get used to living by standards that have no place for dreams. Many people believe that dreams are a means of escaping reality. It is a means that allows you to get closer to reality. But not the reality that society, generally accepted principles and moral principles portray to us, but the one that you have always dreamed of. Dreaming does not mean immersing yourself in an imaginary world and getting lost in it. Dreaming means allowing yourself to get even more from real life. After all, desires tend to come true. Let us remember the words of the great Leo Tolstoy, there is a side to a dream that is better than reality. There is a reality side that is better than the dream. Complete happiness would be in the combination of both. Don't be shy about your desires. You can admit to yourself any desires you want. Some dream of a bicycle, some want to climb to the top of a mountain. For others, happiness would be to take a photo with their favorite singer or lie on the spring grass in the forest. Don't forget that you are unique, you are special and one of a kind. Love yourself and your dreams. Don't be afraid to talk about your dreams. Think for yourself how your dream will want to get closer to you if you are embarrassed to talk about it. Every person gets what he wants, sooner or later. There is nothing wrong or shameful in talking to someone about what you want. The more you think and talk about it, the faster it will come true. Dreams come true. It is a fact. Those who know how to dream correctly and productively do not have their head in the clouds. They boldly go towards realizing their desires. What needs to be done to make your dreams come true? We offer you several effective methods that will help you. Get started today. Don't put off your new happy life until tomorrow, Monday. Don't think that after the new year, something will change on its own and a new life will begin. There is no need to wait until your boss deigns to give you a vacation. Don't put off realizing your dreams until your children finish school and go to college. Don't forget that time passes, and your life is such a priceless thing that it should be treasured today. Stop waiting for some sign from above, it won't come, because only you can build your happiness. Share your dreams. Many people dream of something grandiose and often they cannot even determine what exactly it is. This is the biggest mistake. If you dream of being happy and traveling around the world, don't expect it to happen right away. Determine what exactly you need to be happy. Where exactly do you want to go first? The first step towards realizing you desire to identify these very desires. Find free time for yourself and answer the question, what exactly do I want? Write down each of your dreams on paper, formulate it, or even better, draw it. Determine which dreams are your highest priority at the moment. Get ready to achieve them not all at once, but one after another. Believe in yourself. If a dream has arisen in your imagination and consciousness, then it can be realized. They don't just appear that way. If you feel like your dream is unattainable, just divide it into small components. Determine what is needed to make your dream come true. Set yourself small goals along the way and gradually implement them. No one is pushing you, just do something as much as possible for your dreams and yourself. Appreciate every small achievement. Love yourself and what you do. Start every new day with auto-training. Look at yourself in the mirror and just say nice things to yourself. The main rule is to speak in the present tense. For example, everything works out for me, luck always accompanies me, I am proud of myself and in general, I am handsome. Another effective way to make desires come true is visualization. What it is. Every day, without fail, imagine that your dream has already come true. Imagine yourself walking around a city you've always wanted to visit. Imagine drinking tea on the porch of your own home. If you dream of finding a soulmate, imagine her appearance, voice, and character. Do not be afraid. A dream must come true if you think about it all the time. Never think, I will have, or one day I will. Think like this, I already have. And every day just tell yourself, I am happy. Chapter 2. Take action. Forget about fear. What is the reason that people do not give up their usual boring life and continue to float with the flow in a sea of dullness and boredom? Perhaps some did not even bother to think about how interesting and rich life could be. But the main reason is fear. Many are simply afraid to switch gears and begin to perceive themselves and the world around them in a new way. Why does this fear arise? There are several main sources of fear. The unknown. Most fear comes from ignorance. When a person does something for the first time, radically changes something in his life, and does not know what the consequences may be, the appearance of fear is quite reasonable. Negative experiences in the past. If a person has failed in something or experienced pain, resentment, or defeat in any form, there is a fear of experiencing it again. Fear of death. This fear holds many people back from the new, unknown. That is why many people prefer to lead a calm, monotonous lifestyle and do not allow anything new, even if this new does not pose any danger to life. Fear of retribution. Oddly enough, in some situations, people stop. They are afraid that they may suffer mentally or physically because they once harmed someone. This sometimes happens when it comes to relationships between people. This fear prevents people from starting new relationships. Now let's look at how you can overcome your fear and take a step towards a new free life. Fear of the unknown. It is not at all difficult to fight this fear. If you want to try something new but are apprehensive, learn from the experiences of those who have already done it. Everyone does something for the first time, and probably someone has already tried what you want to do. For example, do you want to write your book, skydive, or run a marathon? Talk to those who have already done this. Read about them. There are many ways to learn about other people's experiences. This will help you get rid of fear by 90% because it is the unknown that is at the root of your fear. If you have any specific concerns, for example, you dream of performing on stage for the first time but are afraid of shame, imagine your performance. Plan it out. Imagine different situations that might arise and determine how you would act in each case. If suddenly everything is completely neglected, the audience doesn't like the way you sang or danced, arm yourself with humor. He has already saved many people. If your performance gets a laugh, laugh with the audience. Fear of negative experiences. Analyze your past actions. Find the reasons for your mistakes. Then draw the right conclusions and act according to a different scheme. Thanks to failure, you gained invaluable experience that allowed you to look at this or that action differently and do it correctly next time. If you don't carefully analyze your actions and repeat them, don't be surprised when you step on the same rake again. Visualize the situation. Imagine it by your actions, and you will succeed. Fear of death. This fear is the most difficult to overcome, it accompanies most people. This is understandable, death sometimes comes unexpectedly, when you least expect it. This fact holds the key to combating the fear of facing death. You just need to realize that there is no point in this fear. Not everything always depends on us, but unforeseen circumstances and accidents also play a role. Although we create our happiness, fate also takes part in our lives. So just trust her. And most importantly, realizing that life can be unpredictable, hurry up to live. Every day should be equally precious and beautiful for you, no matter what it brings to you. The fear that life could end suddenly should motivate you, but not shut you down. Now let's look at how you can overcome your fear and take a step towards a new free life. Fear of you together. To overcome this fear, you first need to learn an important law written by life itself. This is the law of cause and effect. Everything that happens in your life has its causes and, accordingly, consequences. The same goes for all your actions. Before you do anything, think about what the consequences might be. Then you will never have to regret anything. Another important rule, do not deceive yourself and others. Fear often arises subconsciously based on a complete deception. Do not burden yourself with unnecessary worries, problems, and fears. Just live honestly. Don't be afraid that you are going in the wrong direction. Be afraid to stay stagnant and miss out on all the joys and delights that life has in store for you. Just take the first step. Otherwise, you will end up regretting that you didn't even try. Don't be afraid that you won't succeed. Believe me, if everyone succeeded the first time, life would be much less interesting. Don't be afraid of being judged. Moreover, prepare to be judged. As you follow a new path, more and more people will remain behind you, judging and criticizing you. But notice that they are behind you, and you are in front. Do what you're afraid to do. Challenge your fears. Then your life will instantly become much richer and more interesting. If you are afraid of meeting new people, just go and say the first word, and there is nowhere to go, you will have to continue meeting. This way you will cheer up both yourself and others. Don't be afraid of not being in control. Not everything is under our control, accept it. But you can find your pros and cons in everything. The main thing to remember is that the cause of all your failures is the fear of mistakes and failures. Having gotten rid of fear, your life will instantly be filled with new, bright colors. Don't regret anything. Be grateful for mistakes and failures. How many times have you thought about going back in time and fixing something? Each of us has done things that we regret. Perhaps you once offended someone, did not give up something in time, missed promising opportunities, or allowed yourself to be insulted. There have been many similar situations in everyone's life, and only with age do you gradually learn not to make stupid things and mistakes. But let's think, could you learn this without making these same mistakes? Of course not. Although they say that we need to learn from the mistakes of others, practice shows that only after stepping on a rake ourselves, it finally dawns on us that it is not worth doing one way or another. Let's look at the most effective methods that will help you learn not to regret anything. Forget the concept of ideal. Nothing and no one is or can be perfect. Stop painting an ideal self and an ideal life for yourself. While you are trying your best to get closer to an imaginary ideal, you do not have time to live and breathe fully. It's good if you manage to come at least a couple of steps closer to your ideal. And if not, then doubts, disappointments, and fear of further failures are born. Why do you need this? Love yourself the way nature created you. It wasn't in vain that she tried. If you don't want to make mistakes so you don't regret it later, sit on the sofa and sit there for the rest of your life. Not a very bright prospect, you will agree. So accept that there have been and will be mistakes in your life and be happy about it. If that's not your thing, you probably have a sofa in your home. Stop lamenting and think positively. As soon as you feel that self-pity and bitter memories are about to set in, distract yourself for a moment, breathe out, and try to switch your thoughts to something more interesting and pleasant. It may not be easy at first, but you will get used to it. Many even enjoy suffering and bathe in it, but why? This makes sense, doesn't it? Stop feeling sorry for yourself. Why am I so unlucky? All people are like people, but for me, everything is always wrong. The girl left, and she was fired from her job. How much worse can it be? My neighbor is doing everything right, business, women, everything is as it should be, but I'm kind of a loser. Now count how much time you spent on these eternal sighs, and imagine how much useful you could do or at least come up with. Even if you have no time for fantasies, you can do 20 push-ups or go for a run. This will build up your biceps, and women will appreciate it. Be creative and resourceful. Without these qualities, you will not be able to cope with regret. Learn to find positive aspects in any negative event. No matter what happens, there is always a good side to this event. And if not, then you can invent it. Why not? For example, you are late for the most important interview of your life. Having received this position, you could save up for an apartment, go on a trip, and generally solve all financial problems. But fate decreed otherwise, freeing you from competing employees who are looking for somewhere to set you up, and from a strict boss who would force you to work 7 days a week. What's not a plus for you? Be grateful for the invaluable experience. Everything that is done for the better. No matter how trite this phrase may sound, it is true. Each new failure is a constructive experience, without which you might not have been able to realize something. For example, you were with the wrong person for 2 years, who in the end turned out to be completely different from what you imagined. Now you have a clear understanding of who you need or don't need. In addition, before you regret any action, think carefully about whether you could have acted differently in that situation. Don't waste your time. The average life expectancy of a modern person is about 60 to 70 years. The first 16 to 18 years of life can hardly be called conscious. We don't have many opportunities for self-realization and decision-making. Is this a reason to waste precious time on regrets, bitter lamentations, and endless self-picking? We figured out how to overcome regrets. But is it possible to live in such a way that there is nothing to regret? To begin with, always be honest with yourself and with others. Deceptions create fears and leave an imprint on your consciousness. So just don't do it and don't burden yourself with unnecessary burdens. Don't forget to spend time with your loved ones. Life is unpredictable, and it is not in our power to plan it. Your loved ones will not last forever, so don't be lazy and call your sister and ask how things are going. It will only take a few minutes, and you will not regret spending time with your loved ones. You've probably heard the phrase, "Fools always get lucky." Now, it's true. People who don't worry about anything tend to be lucky. This is also typical for those who seem stupid and weak. Therefore, if it seems to you that the whole world is against you, that fate only throws up new challenges, remember, all difficulties are distributed evenly among the inhabitants of our beautiful planet. If you encounter difficulties, rest assured that you are fully capable of handling them. It just so happens that weak and stupid people get simple life tasks. Therefore, if fate brings you another surprise, do not rush to despair and complain about failures. Think of problems as interesting puzzles that you have to solve. Try to look for non-standard solutions. The puzzle that life has thrown at you can be solved with the help of ingenuity and resourcefulness. Chapter 3. Learn to say yes and no when necessary. Our life cannot proceed without contact with other people. We live in a society, and even if you intend to avoid communication, you will still encounter different people. Very often the people who surround us ask us for help, just to talk, spend time, or evaluate something. We also often have to turn to different people with different requests. These could be colleagues, co-workers, friends, or just passers-by on the street. All this is quite natural. However, if you do not know how to refuse others, prepare to be a victim and a slave. If you don't want this depressing situation, you need to learn to say no. This will greatly help you in realizing your desires and achieving inner harmony. You should not be afraid that by refusing you will offend the person or ruin your relationship with him. If refusal greatly affects his attitude towards you, you should think about whether this person is even needed in your life. The ability to say no means the ability to prioritize and separate important things from unimportant ones, even if someone may not like it. Of course, there are different situations in life. Troubles happen when help is needed. For example, your colleague is faced with a very difficult project that needs to be completed as soon as possible. You understand that you could not cope with this task yourself. In such cases, it is worth helping. Perhaps this person will make an effort on himself, overcome difficulties or problems, and you will give him a chance to become stronger. However, if you see that a person is simply manipulating you and shifting his work onto you, it is simply stupid to follow his lead. In such cases, it is necessary to refuse. With no doubt. Saying no does not mean erasing your positive images and ruining your relationship. On the contrary, if you constantly agree to everything, you will begin to be perceived as a person to whom any task can be imposed. You will end up being respected less. Refusing does not mean being a rude and selfish person. You can learn to do this tactfully and delicately, only when it does not harm anyone. By refusing, you free yourself from your joys and pleasures. If you learn to say no, you will have much more time to live another day of your precious life. More energy and strength for what you need and are interested in. By saying no, you not only save energy for your life, but you also gain more control over your life. Every time you say no to others, you say yes to yourself, your interests, hobbies, recreation, and loved ones with whom you enjoy spending time. Saying no means taking control of your life and your precious time. Days and hours wasted for the sake of others can be spent usefully for yourself. By learning to refuse gently and tactfully, you will rid yourself of feelings of guilt and resentment, and you will be able to live a more conscious and harmonious life. You will begin to respect yourself. At the same time, even those who try to take advantage of your kindness and responsiveness will begin to respect you. You will no longer be their victim. You will no longer be a victim of circumstances. When you no longer have to bend to other people's demands, you will breathe easier. However, it is important to learn to refuse gracefully and tactfully. Have you ever calculated how much time you spend fulfilling other people's desires and requests? If not, try it. The resulting figure may impress you. Very often, sympathetic people become victims who are piled with mountains of work that are not part of their responsibilities. Friends may ask you to babysit, pick up the dog from the veterinarian, or solve a bunch of other problems. Try to analyze how much time it takes you to meet other people's needs. Compare this to what you want to get out of life. Set yourself a goal. Complete your tasks one by one. Pay more attention to yourself than to others. This is your life, live your life, not someone else's. Then there will be less room for fulfilling other people's requests, and it will be easier to refuse. Learning to say no is not difficult at all. Just every time you receive a request, think about whether it fits into your plans and whether fulfilling it could be useful for you. If, for example, your friend asks you to use his gym membership so that he doesn't lose it, agree if it will benefit you. But if the request will not bring you any benefit and will only waste time, say no. After listening to the request, think about whether the person asking can cope with the task on his own. If yes, don't waste your time. When you say no, do it confidently and calmly. There is no need to feel guilty or make excuses. Just say no. It's your personal decision and you don't need to apologize for it. If the person asking is adequate, he will take your refusal calmly and will not think badly of you. You can use the following phrases: only you can handle this. I definitely won't do it as well as you. You will succeed. I believe in your strength and abilities. This will let the person know that you believe in his capabilities and respect him. Saying no is not difficult or scary if you remember that it is for your benefit. Remember that refusal does not mean selfishness. First of all, this is the ability to set priorities and respect your time, your desires, and plans. This is the ability to not waste time on what you don't need and live your life to the maximum. It may not be easy for you at first to refuse your boss, friends, or relatives, but when you feel what opportunities a simple short word, no, provides, you will begin to respect yourself for your strength and firmness. Then there will be fewer meaningless requests in your life because those around you will understand your boundaries and begin to respect your time. If you are used to living according to orders, according to standards written for you, it will not be so easy for you to let new opportunities and emotions into your life. But when you learn to say no to those who try to dictate to you, you will have a lot of free time and opportunities to live and enjoy life to the maximum. You have every chance to do what you want, the way you want. Open yourself up to new adventures, travel, communicate with interesting people, and say yes to new opportunities. Life will hear you and reciprocate. Bring a lot of new and bright things into your gray and boring existence. This could be traveling to places you've always dreamed of or new hobbies that interest you. Meeting new people can open doors to new ideas and perspectives. All this will become possible when you begin to respect your time and stop agreeing to what you do not need and are not interested in. Don't be afraid of change, it can lead you to amazing discoveries and vivid impressions. Set new goals, dream, and realize your plans. Life becomes interesting and full when you start living it by your own rules, and not by someone else's instructions. Allow yourself to be yourself and you will see how much wonderful this world has to offer you. Chapter 4. Unleash your talents, they were given to you for a reason. Every person is born with certain abilities that can be developed and improved throughout life. This concept is known as talent. However, not all people are aware of their abilities and do what they like. Many people spend their entire lives not using their full potential and feeling unfulfilled. Every year it becomes more and more difficult to free yourself from this invisible craving and start doing what brings joy. Your talents can be both social and personal. You don't have to be world famous in your business. The main thing is that your talent brings you satisfaction and, possibly, additional income. However, to achieve mastery and perfection in one's craft, constant practice and diligence are required. Several rules will help you discover and develop your talents. First of all, don't be afraid to challenge yourself in different areas. You may be surprised by what you discover in yourself. Try new hobbies, interests, and sports activities. Don't limit yourself to stereotypes or fears. Develop your interest and follow your passion. Sometimes the answer to your talent is right in front of you, but you don't notice it. Listen to yourself and do not ignore the tips that others give you. Remember that achieving your dreams requires persistence and the abandonment of doubts. Don't be afraid of mistakes and failures, they are part of the learning process. The important thing is to just keep moving forward and believe in yourself. Be truly passionate about what you do, and then your talent can truly shine through. You will never know about your talents if you don't try. Think about famous figures such as guitarist Jimi Hendrix. He also started from scratch and trained hard to achieve mastery. Or take the actor and voice actor James Jones who did his voice. They weren't born with these skills, they developed them. Take a closer look at your interests. If you're passionate about news or celebrities, why not connect your interests with talent? Perhaps you can start writing news or become a critic. If you love cinema, then why not become an expert in this field? Don't be afraid to experiment and make mistakes. Focus on your achievements, even if they seem small. It is important not to stop there and keep moving forward. To find and develop talent, you can use various methods such as testing. They will help determine your innate abilities and guide you in the right direction. Remember to learn from others and embrace their experiences. Don't hesitate to seek advice from those who have already achieved success in your field. And remember that developing talent takes time, patience, and a constant pursuit of excellence. I completely agree. Talent is just the beginning stage on the path to success. After talent, it's time to develop the skills that will allow you to turn your potential into real achievements. This path may be difficult and full of obstacles, but it is important not to let this discourage you or stop you. Perseverance, patience, and a constant desire for improvement are what will help you overcome all difficulties and achieve success. Try to relate to each new stage. Learn to love life and every moment. Say thank you for every day you live. Start making the most of life that it can give. It's not as difficult as you think. The main thing is to just start doing it. Today, right now. There are no grandiose plans that you will need to master to love life. It won't be easy for you if you follow the advice of psychologists who offer instructions and conduct training. Then you have every chance that you will again go down the path from which you came out. But you don't want to exchange an all for soap. No, it's easier to go through and keep everything under control. In this, you are not tired. No one can control everything, and it is not up to you to ensure that what is planned happens exactly the way you imagine it. Be more flexible. Learn to accept circumstances. Just accept them. Otherwise, you will just hit the wall over and over again. Everything becomes easier. If you are fired from your job, rejoice at the opportunity to find a better, more interesting one that meets your needs. Don't be afraid to make changes to your daily routine. When you live according to a schedule, day after day, you turn into a robot. What kind of work could there be that will become your favorite activity? Be open to change, and then it will bring you positive results. Whatever one may say, there is no life without problems. We all face great challenges. But not everyone knows how to react to them correctly. Remember that only 5% of problems are real problems. Don't beat yourself up. If there is still a problem, it cannot be ignored. Focus on it and try to solve it as quickly as possible so that you can forget and move on with your life. Admire yourself. Give yourself as much as your soul requires. Don't be greedy with yourself. If you want to buy a new handbag, buy it. This satisfaction will last you for a long time. Don't rush or fuss. If you miss the bus, don't worry so much. Another one will come. And in order not to be late, try leaving the house the next day, which is impossible to do in a hurry. These are all little things, but they are important. Love your body. Or that you need to love your appearance. This goes without saying. Don't forget to please your body with healthy physical activity. They can not only strengthen your body with oxygen, after which a sound, healthy sleep follows. If this is all boring for you, turn on the music and dance. Eat healthy. Nature has created everything the body needs. Then why harm yourself with artificially prepared foods? No time to sleep. If you don't like your reflection in the mirror, that's great. And if not, why do you treat yourself this way? Do you deserve this? If in our world everything comes down to appearance, then, judging from the very beginning, fortunately, everything is decided by the feeling of oneself, one's place. Everything is on time. People love themselves and their lives with stupid regrets that something is wrong, or, on the contrary, they have gone too far. You cannot disrespect yourself enough to obey standards that are written in some unknown place. Marilyn Monroe was far from the standards, but this did not stop her from becoming an idol of men and did not stop him from creating his brilliant masterpieces. Cervantes lost his left arm in battle, after which he began working on the famous novel Don Quixote. Physicist Stephen Hawking can only move the fingers of his right hand, so he can't even speak, but he has earned a position at the University of Cambridge and remains active in science. Spend more time in nature. We are very lucky. We have everything, literally. We have countless riches at our disposal that can satisfy all our needs. So why not fall in love with this beautiful world where there are seas, oceans, mountains, plains, and skies? You are used to the park near your house and think that you are relaxing in nature, but where your soul is, it will be spacious. Try to get out more often somewhere where civilization has not reached. Instead of cars, they left. And this doesn't necessarily require a lot of money. Just enjoy your fresh, juicy greens. Lie down on the grass and look up at the sky. Count the stars. Enjoy and feel freedom. Look at the world map. You don't have much time to put off getting to know him. So hurry up. New countries, new acquaintances, and new cultures await you. At the same time, it is not at all necessary to save money for expensive travel. It is quite possible to travel on a modest budget that you will remember for the rest of your life. Hundreds of people hitchhike. What's not to love about sleeping soundly in a camping tent? Backpack and forward. Hike. Spend less time on the internet and in front of TV. Perhaps you can find educational channels. The rest is garbage. At home. You don't watch the news. They rarely show anything good there. And your life is not made for negativity. Don't watch TV. Spare your time. Don't waste it. You have yours. The internet should only be used when it is needed. You can find quite a lot of interesting things for yourself on the internet. But don't get stuck there. Seek help from this good wisely, look at messages on social networks, Twitter, chat with friends, look at photos on Instagram. Stop useless activities immediately. Try to calculate how much time you spend each day on social media. Now think about how much useful you could do during this time. Social networks deprive you of a lot of things, even communication. Online correspondence often takes away from the real situation, leaving you not always in an advantageous position. This is what people with an empty character do, who do not know how to live their lives. It is especially stupid to communicate with friends and family who are close to you. You'll have much more fun if you spend time with them in person, go to the movies, or just chat. All these social networks, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, can become sources of unnecessary desire and envy. This terrible feeling can spread to every area of your life. Looking at other people's photos, awkward videos, and meaningless messages can be time-consuming and unhelpful. But maybe stop being a spectator. Write your life script. It's very stupid to waste years on someone else's life and empty entertainment on social networks. If you are missing something in your life, remember that every day is a great gift to be grateful for. Every day is a new chance. What it will be depends on you. Don't waste it. This is disrespect for yourself. Don't forget to say thank you for what you have. Don't complain about what you don't have. It will, and if it doesn't, then it will teach you gratitude. Don't forget to do this. This will help you understand that you have a lot to consider yourself a happy person. Every time you mentally say thank you, you will truly feel joy and satisfaction. Chapter 5. Let's summarize. Where to start a fulfilling life. So, let's conclude from all of the above. A lot has been said, but on the other hand, even more can be said about how wonderful life is. Let's summarize and highlight the 10 most important rules that we must not forget about to be able to survive and live to the maximum. Rule 1. Love yourself. You are beautiful. If you still hurry, time is running out. Love your body and your mind. Remember that life is a theater, and you are your role. Be yourself, don't take roles away from others. Be honest with yourself and with those around you, and you will immediately breathe easier. Don't fuss, otherwise, because of your haste, you will miss a lot of significant things. Rule 2. Dream. Remember that dreams are not an escape from reality, but a movement in a special direction, just like you. Rule 3. Do not be afraid of anyone or anything. Fear is a feeling that should protect us from negative consequences, but instead, it deprives us of the opportunity to get more out of life. It binds you. Forget about fear. Do what your heart tells you. Waiting itself did not benefit anyone and will not benefit you. Rule 4. Accept the fact that everything that has been done cannot be changed or remade. Accept this fact, come to terms with it, and don't get hung up on it. This takes a lot of time and effort that could be spent on more pleasant things. Rule 5. Don't be upset by failures. Stop just getting the lessons you need to learn from life. Look for the positives, invent them. Think positively because thoughts are material. Rule 6. Respect yourself. Know how to refuse. Don't let yourself be manipulated. Respect your time. Don't waste it on things that won't benefit you. Do not serve other people's desires and demands. Rule 7. Discover your talents. Then you can do exactly what you like and what suits you. Rule 8. Travel. Say yes to life. Dance. Sing. Laugh. Take a walk. Talk to people. Fill your life to the brim. Rule 9. Do not follow standards. Don't conform to default instincts. Don't worship money. It is only a means to achieve goals, not an end in itself. Don't spend a lot of time in front of the TV or on the internet, especially on social networks. All this is garbage that needs to be taken out of your life. Rule 10. Value your life. Be grateful for what fate gives you. Concentrate only on the positive aspects. Appreciate every new day, because you don't know when the last one will be. And now forget about all these rules. Press the turn on button inside yourself and just live.
Dear listener, I hope you enjoyed the book. Write in the comments what other books you would like to hear. Share with your friends and family, and of course, to avoid missing new items. Subscribe to our channel and like it if you haven't already. We wish you all the best and hope that our books will change your life for the better.